Hello, YouTube world. I want to say hi to my family, friends, co-workers, people that I know in the neighborhood, everywhere. Just my viewers, subscribers. Welcome back to Rebirth. I'm here with another episode. I want to drop off another video here, and we're going to talk about just some tips. I'm giving out little tips right now that can help us get through the day. Now, this message is directly towards minorities, my black friends, my black families, and other minorities. And the reason it is because it's about behavior, how we present ourselves, and how other people may see us. So, without further ado, let me get into this, and let's go right into it. The name of this topic is The Black Mental Conscience, Little Known Tips or Things to Think about. Now let's talk about retail. I worked in retail. I did retail for a handful of years, about 4 years, 5 years. I was working in retail, and one thing about being in retail, you see all kind of people, and you see people that comes in, they in one mood or another mood. You never know what kind of mood a person in. Over the years, I noticed they started in the retail industry and customer service, developing the greeters, where people will stand up, and when you go into a store, they'll say, "Hello, how you doing? Welcome to Walmart, or welcome to Target, or welcome to this place or that place." Even if they're not greeters at the door, the person at the customer service station or standing at the register will turn and look towards you and greet you in, And I always say, a good habit is to return kindness. Someone say, "Hello, welcome to Target," and I would turn and say, "Thank you. How you doing today?" or something like that. What that does, it sends out energy going back and forth that's positive. Okay? Rather than just walking in, someone speak, you say nothing, you just walk by, you don't return it, and there's no good feeling there. So sometimes some people will feel a little, not just only a little offended, but maybe they will feel a red flag is coming up. What is this person here for? Now you're saying, and it can grow. So people don't get caught up in people following me because I'm black or because I'm a minority. They're watching me. Cameras are all over these stores nowadays. It's not like it used to be. Everybody's being watched. Everybody's being monitored. But it gets worse when someone comes in a store that poses as a threat, showing some type of attitude. The energy you put out, that's the energy that comes back to you. Remember that. So a nice voice back saying, "Thank you, how you doing today?" And you keep it moving, get your stuff, you keep it moving, you're coming out. That makes everyone feel better. Everybody, they feel like everything is good, everybody is safe at some of the times. Um, but we have to think about presentation as a person. African American people and minorities, we always felt like we've been labeled. And we always believe that no matter when we go in these places, somebody looking at us sideways. And so sometimes to counteract that, like they say, like it says in the Bible, you have to kill evil with kindness. So that's one of the ways that there's a tip that I'm giving you now that will work. I've done it, and it works for me all the time. Uh, Number two, no matter how small of the purchase, no matter what you're buying, no matter whether you at a pump outside of a Circle K getting gas and you paying at the pump, keep your receipt at least for 2, 3 weeks. Sometimes I do it a whole month. And I'm explaining why I keep my receipts. I believe in holding on my receipts because if somebody say you were somewhere else when you were actually at a store getting gas or buying a soft drink, just to cool down, or you were at the dollar store picking up some items for the house or whatever, you still have that receipt. And let's just say if you got somebody that was upset with you, mad with you for whatever reason, and they said, oh, she was over here causing problems, disturbing the peace over here, doing this. And then let's say you get questioned. If you get questioned, you say, no, I was at the store around about that time. Here's my receipt. I have my receipt right here in my purse, or I have my receipt right here in the car, or let me get you my receipt. I can show you where I was at that time. And that receipt covers, just to give you an example, this is a receipt that I have. This was in Gainesville. See, I talk, I walk it. This was on the 14th. Today is the 1st. So I got this. I purchased some gas. I was in Gainesville, Florida. This was early morning. I grabbed some gas. I just wanted to pick some up just to get gas so I can be on my way back and wouldn't have to stop. So I got the gas early that morning. And like I said, I walked the walk as well as I talked the talk. So if something comes up and someone says, Robert, someone said you was over here disturbing the peace or doing this or doing that. This woman said you slapped her or you did this to her and trying to throw some domestic violence on me. Guess what? My receipt will tell you that I was at this store at that time and there's no way I could be there. Now, people call that being anal or whatever. Nah. In the world we live in today, with the things that are going on today, people, you better be prepared to take care of yourself in any way possible, in every way possible. That is legal. Because if you don't, you will be in a lot of trouble for things that you have no idea. All because a person just got upset with you or didn't like what you look like. So we have to be proactive. We have to be conscious. We have to be aware of what's going on in our surroundings. So I do this. I do this religiously. And I've been in situations where it saved my life. And I say that literally because it got me out of a bad fix when I could have easily been shamed or accused, or the allegations just built up like a snowball. I cut it down quick. This is where I was. I ain't got time for this. This is where I was. Here's my receipt. Look it up. That's my card number. Let me get my card. You can see the last 4 digits. So I don't play around like that because time is money. Moving along. When we think about being put in those type of positions, who you are and how you present yourself is paramount. It is very important because a lot of times we have no knowledge of what people have going on inside of them. We have no knowledge of it. And we get caught up sometimes in other people's whirlwind. They losing it. They want you to lose it too. They can't stay in some type of peace. They want you in chaos as well. So you have to be mindful. You have to be thoughtful about what's going on around you. And let's go to number 4, where I'm going to talk about something that, now some of you may take this a little in a sensitive way, but don't, because this is truth. And I'm making you aware of what we're dealing with here in America. This is awareness. This is conscious. Keep your mind prepared to learn and know what's going on around you. Okay, James W. Loewen was a former professor at the University of Vermont. And this brother did some research. And his research was on towns in America that black people and other minorities should not be in after dark because of its still holding on to Jim Crow, still holding on to their old teachings of their fathers and forefathers. When we talk about these places, yes, it's going to point out the racism in it. But I want you to understand this is about awareness to the people that should not be there after dark. I'm pointing out that, listen, don't go to these places after dark. Now, I didn't list them all because I left, when I did, I put the URL to the website right there so that you can see it in the description box. So go down there, read through it, click on it, and then go and take a look at this stuff. And then if you want to do more research, have at it. The more you do, the more you learn. James Loewen, this former University of Vermont professor, he is a sociologist. And he did research on what they call Sundown Towns. So if those of you that never heard of Sundown Towns, and I'm quite sure there are people that do know about it. But for those of you that don't know, check this out. This is a good pill to swallow here. He defines sundown towns as neighborhoods, rural communities, or homesteads with a fully 100% white population that do not want any minorities in their area. And these towns are 100% racist and white. When you're traveling, know these places so you won't happen to run up in there during the dead of night, stop into a gas station getting gas, because you never know what can happen. You never know what can happen. Be aware of your surroundings. He went on to say that these areas, these towns, were purposely designed in a systematic way to keep African Americans and other minorities of other ethnicities out. Wow. This is still happening today. This is a tip going to all of my minority friends. All of the minorities that listen to my videos, that watch my videos, please know where you are at all times. If you go on a trip, please know about the town that you're visiting or driving through. Have some knowledge. If it's better to stay on the interstate, stay on the interstate, keep it moving. Because people go missing every day. Minority college students, black or white, Hispanic or Asian, people go missing every day. No matter what the cause. Understand that. And Baldwin, in his work, he said that these towns were referred to as hidden dimensions in America. And that made me think about, as I was reading this, it made me think about Star Trek when they go into warp speed and immediately they end up in another dimension. People, I'm saying to you, be careful, because when you end up in these other areas and you are not welcome, remember, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Know where you are. Be aware. Be conscious of what you're doing. As I did my research on this, I learned that at least 60 out of 782 communities in Kentucky alone are set up this way. 60 out of 782 communities are set up just like this. Nothing but whites. And they do not want other ethnicities there. And you're fooling yourself if you think that you're finna move in there, buy a house, and just and and try to integrate. You're fooling yourself. Now, those that are slowly changing, they are slowly changing. I don't know those ones by name or nothing like that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm making you aware of what's going on in America. Be conscious of what you're doing. Be aware of what's going on around you. Consciousness and awareness. These are great mental health characteristics to have. Moving right along. They also found out that Louisiana has places like this. And the late, great Maya Angelou wrote in one of her memoirs, she stated in her writings that I know why the cage birds sing. And she describes Mississippi like this: don't let the sun set on you here in Mississippi. Now, she used some other phrases and words that I'm not even going to go into right now, but I want you to understand what she was talking about. Do not let the sun set on you here. In other words, be in the house. Be in the house. Those that were living in Mississippi during that time, she was saying you cannot even safely walk around in town or anywhere else moving about at night as an African American or a minority. That's what she was saying about Mississippi. Do your homework, people. Think about it. Consciousness, awareness. As I move on to number 5, we talk about how you move around in the store and things like that. Keep your hands out your pocket as much as possible. Keep your hands out of your pockets as much as possible. Just another tip. Don't make yourself look suspicious. Right? Some people, number 6, some people are surprised. I mean, no matter how many schools you have built, no matter how many HBCUs you have around here, no matter how many educational facilities that has black people attending, some people are quite surprised when they run into a very well-spoken African American. Believe me, they are very surprised. They are very surprised when you can sit down, hold an intelligent conversation, and not resort to all these slangs and words and all this stuff that we use in the streets. Blows the mind. That is another tip. Don't be surprised that people are surprised of other ethnicities that we can speak so well. And a lot of us are highly educated and having advanced degrees. Which is a good thing. And I want to say this too to my brothers and sisters. Sisters, stop coming down on brothers that has advanced degrees or intelligent and don't talk like the hood talk. They are not simps. They are not men that are betas. You cannot throw them in some type of bucket full of squares. Stop doing that. Some of you are missing your blessings because you won't marry a man that got himself well together. Some of you missing your blessings. You're worried about trying to be hip and trying to be all that more than you are worried about your family being well cared for. And I'll say this right now, I always and always will believe and know that based on biblical standards, the man is head of household when there's a wife, a husband, and children. And if we build this back up among African American communities and stop uh, fighting against well-educated black men, you'll see stronger families. You'll see more black families going to church. And you will also see kids growing up in homes that has fertilized them with the goodness of being able to go out into this world and learn how to deal with problem solving, stressful situations, making great decisions. Because when you sitting at a house and when you growing up in a house and you sitting in there and you seeing mom and dad collaborating, you see mom and dad communicating, you see mom and dad working out differences. When you see these things, it trains you. It builds you up and prepares you to deal with the world at large. You can go to a university and know how to carry yourself, young ladies, because you watch your mom on how she carries herself. You can go to these universities and carry yourself, young men, because you saw your dad carry himself as a man. His mom did not emasculate him, just tear him down whenever she didn't agree with him or whenever she couldn't have her way. You didn't see the man get mad and say demeaning words to her just because she said, not tonight or whatever, or something like that. But things don't go exactly the way he wanted to go. They agree to disagree. They work things out. And if they have differences of opinion, they work on it and they deal with it. This is what our children need. Like it or not, stronger families. And you'll see a change in our culture. Single parenthood is not working, and it never worked. It was forced on us. Now we're dealing with the consequences. Moving on. When you are in a situation, and I'll mention this always. Let's say you're finna go on a trip. Let's say you're going out of your city limits or whatever. Please do not leave your wallet, your driver license ID and all that in your wallet. Take it out, put it in the seat beside you. You can use a Ziploc bag, put that in there, put the driver's registration, put your insurance and all that stuff right there in a Ziploc bag. In case you get pulled over, you can say, sir, I have everything right here. I want to reach out and get it. And let him give you the okay. You get it, and then he may tell you to open it up because they will not open up anything, I don't think. But he'll tell you to open it up. You open it up and give him what he asked for. Less chance of you getting shot. I'm just telling you. Less chance of something going wrong. Guys, it's not time to be macho. You ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. You ain't got to get back in no, you don't have to do no shouting match with nobody. Use this and less of that. Okay? I want to move on to The last one, and this is a sensitive topic as well. Leaving teenagers at home to watch over other children. Or sometimes, even if you're leaving that teenager alone by themselves at night, late in the evening, or even overnight while you pull a double shift or something. People, please understand something. These kids are just what they are, kids. And you can say whatever you want to say and make up whatever excuse you want to make up. But there are things that these children need to have in them in order to be able to leave them at home like that with other children in today's society. You got to have a level of trustworthiness. Because if that child is not trustworthy, and I'm talking about teenagers, to stay home and handle this type of responsibility, to be able to make the right decisions whenever something goes wrong while they're with the little ones, not staying on the phone and not monitoring those small ones, they're gonna do all kinds of stuff. That's what they do. But that's why the parent left that one in charge in order to watch over those. So these are the things that you have to be careful about. Know your child and accept who your child is. Oh, my child ain't bad. My child ain't terrible. Some people got the worst kids. And I'm telling you, they'll tear up a house. As soon as you gone and they think you gone, and they know you locked in on your job and you doing what you got to do, you handling your business. Oh yeah, y'all can come on over here now. And all kind of things happen. Or when you leave, that child gone. Not long after you done left, that child gone. And some children are good with their younger brothers and sisters, and some of them are not. Some are not ready for that responsibility. They don't have that maturity level. Stop fooling yourself and leaving these kids like that. Don't leave your child. Not only that, don't leave them with an adult that is suspect. Don't do that. And you know, the things that you're looking for is the trustworthiness, the ability to handle stress. Think about it. Something go down, that everybody goes bonkers. You need to be able to say, when this happened, call me, call your daddy, and then, you know, let us know what's going on. Then guess what? Mom and daddy may tell that person, guess what? I'm calling 911. You keep your eyes on the kids. And then now everything is happening where it should. But guess what? They had the wherewithal to calm everything down and say, I'm calling mom and daddy. That's what it's all about, the ability to handle the stress level. Not only that, is when the kids start acting up. The little ones start acting up and don't want to mind the big one. That can be stressful. Can that young person handle that? That's another thing to worry about. The ability to delay gratification. Like I said, when you're there doing your due diligence for mom and dad to watch your younger brothers and sisters, can that kid stay there without being distracted by the things that they really want to do, is which go to this party or hang out with the boys or hang out with the girls or whatever. See, this is what every parent needs to know about their children, about the oldest one when they're leaving them with these type of responsibilities. Can my child handle stressful situations? Are my child, you know, the type of person that will make the right decisions, will delay gratification if the girlfriend call and say, can I come over there? Can I do this? Can I do that? And you know, instead of saying, no, this is not the time. I got to do this. I got to work. I got to do this. I got to, you know, mom and dad is gone and I got to watch the kids. We can just talk on the phone. But instead saying, yeah, come on over here. See, when you don't have that power to delay gratification, that can be an issue Because I said before, and I said, yeah, a lot of things the devil use against you. So think about it now. Delaying gratification, being responsible. Being responsible. That's a big thing. Because if you can't handle responsibility, you don't need to be watching children. You don't need to be doing that. And a lot of times parents do it because they don't have no other choice. They leave the younger with the oldest. And the oldest is not really ready, but some of them, it clicks and they go into mom and daddy mode and they try to emulate. And they do a good job for their age. Okay? But it's not happening to all of them. Let's remember this, my rebirth family. These are just tips. Like I said, I don't get caught up in the racism and all this and stuff because it exists, it's here. We deal with it. But I want you to know about certain things because it is essential for knowledge. It is essential for your consciousness. This is essential for your awareness to know where you are, where you're going, what you're doing, and why, and where not to go. Need to know these things. I got two URL links down here. Take a look at them. Click on them. It's in the description box. Go to my when you're watching my video, click subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Give me a thumbs up. If you have a comment about these issues, just type in the comment, and we can have dialogue. You know, and we'll do another video. I'm getting ready to start bringing other people on my platform. You know, ministers, other professionals. I'm getting ready to do that. This is going to happen. And we're going to start really debating some issues here. And they're all going to deal with health and wellness, general health, mental health. That's what I'm all about. People, love you all. God bless you. This is Robbie Williams coming from Rebirth. I'm out of here. God bless you. Thank you for joining.